Not another one.
Right then, chaps.
We've done it again.
Welcome back to the 71st episode of the Lifted Lifestyle Podcast. Today, we will be going through the summer blueprint to get in shape by the end of June. So if you want to get a good rig...
This is what you need to freaking listen to.
Exactly.
Lock in, get your notepad out, make notes, go to the link in bio, sign up for coaching. Let's go.
Sorted. That's pod over, actually.
That's it, it's done.
Basically, all you need to do is go on Instagram, click the link, and then you sort
To be
it.
fair, we could plug the OC12 just before we get into things.
Yeah, so we've run this for the last 2 years now. OC12 Summer Transformation Challenge, clues in the name, 12 weeks of coaching. Do you feel like you're in the right place?
Kind of, yeah.
I can shuffle over a bit if you want.
There we go.
12 weeks of coaching that we run for a £500 prize that goes to the best transformation, the most consistency within the process.
Yeah, I think it's important to know it's not just like if someone joins up and they're already really experienced and they're going to get shredded easily, it's not like just the visual transformation that's going to go into it.
Yeah, because some people will get more of a visual change if they've already got quite a lot of muscle and that sort of thing.
So it's got to be very... it's going to be relative person to person.
Yeah.
So don't think if you're someone who's like quite heavily overweight, you're like, I'm not going to win because someone's going to look better than me.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
For example, if you were 30 kilos overweight, you drop 10 kilos over the 12 weeks, that would be just as good as someone that drops 10 kilos over the 12 weeks and is 10 kilos overweight.
Yeah.
So the actual start date is 6th of April.
Yes.
That's correct. Final sign-up is the 1st of April.
Yep.
To get involved.
And it actually launches on the 13th. So the day you're watching this pod, it has launched.
Yeah. And last year we ran it as 20 spaces and we're doing the same this year. Last year they got filled up by...
Before the...
I think it actually was before the end date.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of days before. So we actually are running it as 20 because setting up more than 10 people to set up for like a big transformation challenge like this is... not really feasible.
And at the end of the day, it's obviously very intense for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
So we want you to sign up and know that you're definitely going to get a transformation out of it. I mean, you would however many clients we took on for it, like you would get a transformation. But this just allows us to be really
give you our time as much as we can.
Exactly.
So if you do want to get involved, listen to this pod. There'll be a link below that I'll put in to a type form, which is just a quick form. It'll take you like a minute. You can put in your name, your number, and then we'll drop you a message to
get on a call, have a chat.
Yeah, chat through it. But excited really. Last year we got I think we got some really good transformations out of it.
Yeah, I think we do every year. Yeah.
Definitely. Obviously, the coaching side is great, but also the background motivation of like having a date that maybe you're going away or
100%.
Summer's come in, like it puts a little bit of pressure on, and the £500 prize definitely helps people's motivation a little bit,
which is more than what you'd be paying. To sign up. So you're going to profit from it basically.
Yeah, take the profits, man.
Yeah, you're going to look sick and you're taking profit.
Yeah,
big stacker.
Is it tax free? I think so. I think it's tax-free winnings. Don't really know, to be honest.
Anywho's.
So this pod, we're going to be going through a blueprint and a bit of a Q&A afterwards. I was just saying we'll put up a photo of a couple of years back when me and Leo were both we were heifers.
Yeah, and we were on holiday.
Yeah.
So we know what it's like. We've been there. We've done it.
Yeah. I was 118 kilos then. You were
84, 85.
Yeah.
Which for my height is not looking good for it.
But I put a story up about it the other day, and like I got quite a lot of interaction. A lot of people were liking it and also messaging me off the back of it. It's mostly joking, to be honest. But I was sort of saying like I just won't go there again.
No.
because it was just little things like in the photo I'm sat like this, like covering up my belly.
You're subconsciously conscious of how you look.
Exactly. That beach was like stones, and like generally I was watching all of my lighter mates then stroll across this beach like it was nothing. I literally
just
couldn't
gliding.
walk on it. My feet were killing, and I was sweaty as
when you actually think back to that, it was so sweaty and grim.
You get like under man boob sweat.
Like you're like all red lines here, red lines on you. Yeah, disgusting.
It's not good. So this pod is essentially how to avoid that, and instead look like this, which is our transformation from
Insert photos.
Insert photos. If you're an audio listener, basically we look like way less fat.
Yeah, we look fucking massive. Guys, shredded, everything.
Not quite. So yeah, let's crack into it. Let's go through the classic timeline training setup, nutrition setup, nutrition
so
cardio sort of type thing,
different
and then,
sections,
and then we'll hit up the Q&A. So
let's start with timeline.
Starting off with that timeline, So today's the 10th of March.
It is.
When do you think realistically people need to finish the diet and be in shape for?
So if we're talking, as we said, end of June, start of July, let's just say you're going away 1st of July, for example, I would aim to probably finish actually dieting, actively trying to get new lows and getting leaner, probably 3 weeks before that, 3 weeks before that. I think that's going to give you enough time to nicely reverse out, get some more food in, and actually go away looking your best.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the diet, if you've been pushing pretty hard, which you probably will have been doing, you're probably not actually going to look that great.
No. I mean, if you look at what we feel like our best visuals have been, it's been after a period of time of actually eating some more.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, the year after we went on that Croatia holiday where we were freaking really fat.
Yeah.
The year after that was after I'd finished dieting, and I didn't have that
same.
period of time where I actually reversed out, and I looked like really skinny.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like polar opposites.
Yeah. So it's a thing that you definitely need to manage. But as of today, you got 16 weeks until the 1st of July.
Yeah.
Watching the pod, it will be closer to 15 weeks.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, 15 weeks, if you start when you're listening to this pod, that will be, mid-March? You could diet for 10 to 12 weeks.
Yeah. I think 12 weeks would be a good figure to aim for.
Yeah. So diving into that phase numero uno, key things to look at, purely phasing, like rate of loss and that kind of thing. What are you going for?
So it's obviously going to be person dependent.
Yeah.
But for most people, right, even if they're in pretty good nick now, they have the ability anyway to get leaner. So I think for most people, you probably want to be looking for around 1 kilo a week.
Yeah, most people will have probably 7 kilos to lose
definitely.
at kind of a minimum.
Yeah.
And what you tend to see is like a 10 to 15% reduction in body weight tends to like create that big visual,
that big change, yeah.
Like you don't see it often. I do sometimes with lads that are maybe have trained before but haven't been training that much recently. Maybe they can pull off 5 kilos along with putting in really good training. Yeah. And that creates like quite a big visual.
Yeah, 100%.
But most of the time, especially if you're training now, 7 kilos or 10 to 15% of your body weight tends to create a big visual transformation.
So that over 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Between 10 and 12 kilos, probably, most likely.
Yeah, you'd probably be looking at getting out the gates at about 1 kilo a week.
Yeah,
and then
100%.
Potentially towards the end, depending on how lean you're actually looking, tapering off slightly.
Yeah.
Towards the back end of the diet, going at maybe 0.5 kilo a week as the rough target.
Yeah.
So you can finish that diet across 12 weeks, something around 8 to 12 kilos down, and you're cooking.
And you're going to have a big visual change.
Yeah. 100%. I did actually have a look at this was a while ago now, so I might need to recalculate this. But for the lads that were, and ladies, that were in a diet, our average within our coaching, loss across the 12 weeks was about 8-9 kilos, I think.
There you go. It pretty much fits that.
Yeah. It's quite interesting. Like, if you actually just do the maths and work it out properly,
yeah,
then it's just a case of adherence.
100%.
If you have the right targets, that can be done.
Yeah.
And it's just about managing how they actually go through the process. Which,
approved.
Yeah. Some guys, they just like plan, done.
Yeah,
sorted.
just tick the boxes and get it done. Obviously, for some people, it's not as easy as that.
Yeah.
If it's a bigger sort of lifestyle change, then it's understandable. But even then, like, you can get things in place pretty quickly to get the adherence to where it needs to be.
I think actually for guys that are less experienced, the rate of progress is still the exact same.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you might go from, if like 0 was the worst lifestyle ever physique development and 10 was awesome, taking yourself from like a 2 to a 5.
Yeah, it's a big jump. It's a similar jump from taking yourself to a 5 to a 10.
And you do get the same amount of progress.
Progress from that, yeah, definitely.
Even from a bodyweight perspective, I still see it.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just sort of bigger things that you're changing.
Yeah.
More obvious things.
Yeah.
As opposed to the more experienced guys, it's a bit more like...
You're diving into things a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
And looking at more things, yeah. Hammer and chisel.
So, back into the diet, like we say, potentially look at just decreasing that deficit a little bit if you can.
Yeah.
If not, just like keep sending it.
Just keep going for it. Well, I think you can get away with just keep sending it, because if you've timelined correctly and mapped it out correctly, you're going to have those 2, 3, 4 weeks at the end anyway.
Yeah.
To reverse out. So I wouldn't stress too much about thinking, I need to slow my rate of loss down.
Yeah.
Unless it is becoming detrimental to the physique or to your health or whatever. But for most people, like, that's probably not going to be
I think you're right.
a case.
Sort of depends on your starting position, doesn't it? If you're already quite lean but you've got a bit to lose, then you might. But if you just got weight to lose, then probably the leaner the better.
You can just send it,
especially considering that there's not that much time now.
Yeah, it's mental.
So you get through the diet in wicked shape, feeling like a top dog. What you what are you doing through that reversal?
Through the reversal.
Yeah.
So the goal of any reversal is to, first of all, alleviate any fatigue that might be present. Obviously, if you've been pushing hard, you've been in a big deficit, cardio's high, unfortunately there will be some fatigue that you can't really work around that. But I think people can use the fatigue excuse quite easily. Like, if you're someone, again, who's got more fat to lose, are you actually going to be that fatigued? Probably not, but there will still be some there. So to drop the fatigue, the first thing I always like to do is reduce expenditure as much as you can. Like, I'm not saying going from doing, 20 minutes or half an hour 5 times a week to then drop into 0, but slowly looking to taper that off. And with that, add a little bit of food in as well. And I think this is where people mess up, I think, especially when they're dieting for summer, if they do this timeline. It's because they finished dieting.
Yeah, it's like
everything. They just sort of throw the towel in. You haven't got that, what's the word?
You're not labelled as a dieter now.
Exactly.
So then it's like all motivation just dips.
Exactly.
You're no longer dieting.
You're no longer looking for those new lows and things like that, which... When you're in a diet, do help to motivate you. Like, if you wake up and you've got a new low, you're like, oh, sick, great.
Yeah.
Same again.
But also, if you don't get a new low and you feel like you've not been as dialed in as you could have been, some people just fret and start getting stressed. Other people will use that as a
motivation.
Actually, I've been a bit wet the last week. Let me relock it in.
Yeah, 100%. So, try and bring down your expenditure, but slowly. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. Up your food ever so slightly. Track what's happening with body weight. And I think most people get surprised because it doesn't really make sense, but it does.
Yeah.
Is when they drop their expenditure, put a little bit more food in, their body weight seems to drop quicker.
Yeah.
Which does happen. I notice it with pretty much like 90% of my clients. That's what happens.
You see it a lot, don't you?
Yeah. But again, like, the only like explanation for that is you aren't as fatigued.
Yeah.
So your body weight is going to drop a little bit quicker. From there, you obviously want to monitor what's happening with your body weight.
Yeah.
And add in food as frequently as you can.
Yeah.
I think for me, I much prefer little and often.
Yeah.
Rather than a lot and not often, if that makes sense.
I think it sort of depends on the timeline as well, because sometimes if someone's got a holiday in quite a while, you could bump right back up to maintenance, and probably over the next few days you might see a bit of an increase in body weight, bit of water retention going on, and then maybe a week or so later it will drop off. And you see a bit of a spike and then a decrease. And I'll use that for guys that are like very chilled about what's happening with the body weight.
Yeah, it can cause a lot of stress for clients, I think.
Yeah.
Which obviously isn't good. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
But like you said, if they're chilled out and they're not actually too fussed about a number on a scale, and potentially holding a little bit of water, like, I think it's fine.
Yeah. For most people, I would like do a bit more of a steady taper.
Yeah.
I think something to understand, all these like metabolism coaches that you see online, it's a load of bollocks. It's absolute cap.
Yep.
I hate to say it, but you're not. If you're dieting, and then you seeing these guys that are saying, oh, this person was eating 1,200 calories, and then they started eating 2,600, and this is how they look now.
Yeah, it's just not true.
It's a load of rubbish. What's actually happened is they've dieted, they've lost a load of body fat, and then they've just bumped their food back up to maintenance. Yeah. The transformation hasn't happened within that window of increasing the food. Anyway.
They just look slightly better because they're slightly fuller.
You see it on a lot of female accounts.
Yeah.
Where it's like, girls, you're eating too little. Sometimes that's the case, right? But that's not going to like massively bump up your metabolism so that you're burning like 2,800 calories a day.
You can't just add 1,000 calories in and then the next thing you know, you fucking die.
It does not work like that. So, yeah, if you need to get leaner, you probably need to diet.
Yeah.
Which probably includes dropping your intake, increasing your expenditure slightly, unless you are absolutely sending it and you've been sending it for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And you're at a point where nothing is happening, you've got no energy, your menstrual cycle's out the window. Yeah. Like, if that's the case, you just need to get healthy and
you need to actually spend some time at maintenance or potentially slightly above.
Not even think about how your rig looks for a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
So that's the reversing stage.
Reversal, yeah. Either taper up your food slowly or bump it up to maintenance, wait a bit, see what happens, bump it up again. And by the end of that, you should be feeling a lot more energized. Training starts to really take an increase, pick up a lot.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big positives of it is your training. You'll almost feel like superhuman.
Yeah.
Like your training will increase massively, or the quality of your training will increase massively. So yeah.
I think one thing to note with the diet pre-reversal is if you are already like in reasonable shape but you want to get lean, I'd potentially look at getting slightly leaner than you think.
Yeah.
That allows you to go through summer and just be lean throughout the whole summer whilst actually reversing your food and eating a bit more. But B, I talk about it quite a bit about like your green zone.
Yeah.
Of like where you feel really good on the bottom end, energy wise, training wise, etc., all the way up to the point where you feel too fluffy, too fat. There's like a green zone that everyone has. For me, that probably sits somewhere between 90 and 102, 103 kilos. For you, it's probably somewhere between
like 65 to like 70.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe even less in terms of like how if you're like, this is the physique that I like looking like. Yeah. And also feel decent.
It's what it's like now.
Yeah.
So like 64, 65.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if let's say you are Leo for a second, if you dieted down to 67 and you were like, all right, I look pretty good, you're then not that far away from being like, feel like I want to get lean again.
Yeah.
So you might as well, if it's available to you, pull down a little bit more.
Yeah.
So you're at the bottom end of that green zone of like pretty peeled. Then you've got loads of room throughout the summer to reverse out, increase your food, get into a gaining phase a little bit earlier, and then you're just working through that green zone.
I also think the leaner you get, and I don't want to really like promote this, but the leaner you get, the more sort of lenient you can be with things like off-plan meals. Because like you said, if you're on the higher end of that green zone, having more frequent off-plan meals is going to push you very close to that point where you're like, oh, actually, I don't feel too great here.
Yeah.
If you're leaner, okay, let's say unfortunately, you have things that just come up and they're not things that could be avoided.
Yeah.
And they're quite frequent over 2 weeks. Yeah, your body weight's going to go up, but you're still going to be...
Still pretty happy.
Yeah, you're still going to be closer to the bottom end of that.
Let's be honest, if someone goes on holiday, they're not going to be thinking about dieting.
Exactly.
So, like, ideally, you go on holiday, and then you come back a little bit heavier.
But you're still really happy with how you look.
Yeah, but you're still, like,
exactly
wicked. Still going to look good through July, through August.
Exactly.
Happy days. So, yeah, that's pretty much the timeline, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we need to touch on there.
Nutrition is going to be pretty quick and easy. And you can kind of go through that timeline in terms of caloric intake. To drop that kilo a week, half a kilo to a kilo a week initially, deficit-wise, it's going to have to be reasonably aggressive.
Yeah.
Pulling off 200 calories isn't going to do anything.
No, I think people are so scared of just actually sending it.
It's the number again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is literally, it is just a number thing. But at the end of the day, right, you've got body fat there.
Yeah.
Like, okay, right, there might be occasional times where you feel a little bit hungry, but at the end of the day, it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be feeling terrible at the start of a diet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, you right now, like, your food is really low. Do you feel terrible? No, because you have body fat.
Yeah, like, I am obviously quite experienced.
Yeah.
So for someone that's not as experienced, I wouldn't do what I'm doing.
No.
Because adherence is going to come into play. But to put it into context, I'm probably in a 1,500 calorie deficit.
Yeah.
Daily.
Yeah, which is pretty mental.
Maybe 1,000 to 1,500. Since I started dieting, I have dropped 6.5 kilos. And that was, when did I start? 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, not long ago at all.
Yeah, it was about 3.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, and I feel absolutely sound. My training is absolutely fine. Am I progressing as much as I was when I was eating way more? Obviously not.
No, it's not going to happen.
But I feel absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a message like, don't be afraid to push it if you do have the ability to be consistent with that aggressive rate of loss.
Definitely.
I think you see a lot like, don't push too hard because then, weekends will come along and then you'll go off plan and all that. You don't have to go off plan.
No. I mean, I get what they're saying because you're pushing hard and then you end up just going on like a big blowout.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's just a choice you have to make in your head.
Yeah, and it's very person dependent.
Yeah.
Like when you see that kind of content, it's speaking to someone that is not very experienced in dieting, not gone through it before, doesn't know how to manage their appetite and all that sort of thing. So like, I'm not going to put most clients on that kind of protocol.
You just wouldn't do it, would you? No, exactly.
But anyway, to kind of create half a kilo to a kilo, if you're trying to pull off that body fat across 12 weeks, you are probably going to have to be somewhere between 600 to 1,000
calorie deficit,
from the food.
Yeah.
Which is obviously quite big. And if your maintenance is like 2K, obviously you can't do...
You can't really be doing that.
No, you can't do... You can't
Not the upper end anyway, yeah.
If your maintenance is... If you're a bloke 85 plus kilos, then your maintenance is probably sitting 2.6 plus.
Yeah.
Then you do have quite a lot of room to be able to be a bit more aggressive, I think.
Like you can even drop down to 2,000, it's still a decent amount of food.
Yeah.
And you're still in a 600 calorie deficit, so...
Yeah. What I would say is, like, being in a deficit of at least 400-500 is where you need to be at a minimum to get like a shorter term transformation. Or else you're just not going to see the results that you're after.
Yeah, especially when we're talking about the timeframes that we're talking about now.
Yeah.
You will not get to where you want to be if you are, like you said, just in a 200 calorie deficit.
Yeah.
If you started in January, fairs.
Yeah.
And you want to just come down really, really slowly, that's fine as well. But I think there's negatives to that as well.
Yeah.
You're just sort of dragging it out for
lack of motivation.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you're moving anywhere.
Struggling to just stay adherent.
Yeah. The one thing I would say about pushing more aggressively is the harder you push, the better everything else has to be.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the food changes that you make are to create progress, but the things that maintain muscle mass that are going to create that end look have to be better and better and better the harder you push.
Yeah.
So like, if you are pushing hard, your sleep needs to be really good.
Yeah.
Your nutrition needs to be not only looking at a calorie target.
It's got to be actually structured around your training.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Need to have a look at, right, am I getting enough protein in? That's even still, this is very, very surface level.
Yeah.
Am I getting carbs around my training window? Fats wise, am I having enough to stay healthy?
Yeah.
And then going deeper again, pushing harder, your food is lower. You're not going to be hitting your micronutrition as easily because you've literally not got as much food. So if you are pushing really hard, you've got to look into that as well.
Yeah, you've got to find ways to make it work.
Exactly. Or else that end look won't be how you want it to, even if the body weight does come off.
Yeah.
Because health goes in the bin.
And training has to be better.
Yeah.
Well, again, like you can say this, but your training should be the best. It should be all the time.
Yeah.
But there will be times, like I said, where you might feel a little less energized, but you can't let that affect what you're doing in the gym.
Yeah.
Simples.
Mentally, you got to be a bit more
switched
resilient.
on. Yeah.
So, summarise nutrition. You probably need at least 500 calorie deficit. If you can push harder, if you can adhere to it, and you can tick all the other boxes, then you can afford to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
So for the experienced guys out there that've been training a couple of years, you can probably look into that a little bit more.
Push harder, closer to that 1,000 calorie deficit mark.
And then cardio activity wise, to expand on the deficit, you don't necessarily need any.
No.
Health wise, you might have a baseline cardio a couple of times a week, 20 minutes, maybe doing 60 minutes a week total. But in terms of like on top of that to create more of a deficit,
I think people get very carried away with it.
Yeah.
And cardio starts becoming like the prioritization.
Yeah.
Probably not the best move.
Yeah.
I think for most people, like we just said, you want to create the largest chunk of your deficit needs to come through food.
Yeah.
Because again, if you're doing, I don't know, like what would you say is a large amount of cardio a week?
I mean, I've had people come to me that have said they're doing like an hour a day.
Yeah, which is mental, right? If you're doing that plus then training consecutively 5 days per week, you're going to be pretty battered.
Yeah. If you're obviously training for something, then you're going to have to push that cardio up quite aggressively. But
yeah, if it's like a performance-based goal as well.
Yeah.
Then,
purely physique-based, you don't need a load of cardio. I think that essentially utilise it if you need to.
Yeah.
Have a baseline for health.
Yeah.
And then utilise it if you need to expand that deficit a little bit. But I wouldn't be relying on it to create a huge deficit.
I quite like the idea of at the start of a diet, because you're wanting to send it more, you can send it with your food, and you probably can send it a little bit with your cardio, as long as there isn't like a detrimental effect from that.
Yeah.
As you get leaner, actually look to, instead of increase your cardio, taper off on the cardio, which is what I've done, and it's made a huge difference.
Yeah.
I was doing 6 lots of 30 at the start, or 5 lots of 30. I'm now doing 4 lots of 20.
Yeah.
And it's made a massive difference to how you just feel day to day.
Yeah, you're not battered by the end of it.
Exactly. And it does take away from training.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're, like, when people do it pre-training, I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, come on.
Get sweaty hands before going onto a press.
It's just not needed, is it? Come on.
No. So yeah, I think that's what I'd say. Really.
Yeah, a baseline level
for
fitness. If you need to push it up.
Yeah.
If you haven't got food to take away, okay, you might have to look to push it up.
Yeah.
More than what you'd like. But again, it's just a case of doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
To get to where you want to be.
Yeah. Then training finally.
Yeah.
Again, quite a short topic, really.
Nothing needs to change.
No.
Especially at the start. Keep everything exactly the same. Even like I've done reels on this before where you sort of say, okay, when you start dieting, you probably want to assess your programming, exercise selection, and make those changes to things where the movements that might be affected by body weight, where you need that external stability. And I think, all right, you can be proactive and do that, but I don't think you have to do that.
No.
I think you can just keep them in, especially if you enjoy them and you get a lot from them.
Yeah.
Keep them in as long as you can. If you notice that, okay, you're 4 or 5 weeks in and you're just regressing, you can just make the change then. That's completely fine. Personally, I prefer being proactive and I just take them out. So I'm not having to mess around with things halfway through.
I almost like, if you're doing that, to do it before you start dieting.
Yeah, exactly.
So you get used to run.
Get used to the movements that you're putting in. So that's one potential change you could look to make.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'd try and keep your split the same, unless you've had something that you've really been trying to prioritise where frequency's really high, volume's really high. But again, it's not like you just start dieting and within the first week you can't recover from anything.
Yeah. And you're also probably only doing that if you're already like 5+ years into your training.
Experience. So you're gonna know when you're that experienced as you come down in body weight that you can't recover from that or the level of work that you're doing. But yeah, nothing needs to change.
No. And just be proactive with making changes if you are feeling like you're under recovered. Then
that's the only thing you're gonna think about is volume changes and things like that. But
even still, like
for most people dieting for summer,
no,
you're probably not going to be getting to the point where you're that lean that you need to really make that many adjustments.
No, I mean, if you look at mine, I'm still doing a dumbbell shoulder press, low incline dumbbell press. I've still got loads of movements like that in, and it's still going well.
Yeah, same with me. I'm probably like 3 kilos away from being like pretty freaking diced. I haven't made any volume changes.
Yeah.
Like, you're fine.
Which I guess also comes to your starting point. Like, are you being stupid at the start of your diet?
That's the thing, yeah.
Like, our training, even in a gaining phase, doesn't get to a point where it's like just a load of wasted sets.
Yeah.
So, setting up yourself before you go into a diet with a good training program that is very effective for every single rep that you do really helps to carry it over.
Yeah. I think people need to think, like, your summer diet should always be in your mind, like, year round.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's not relevant to what this pod is actually about, but at the end of the day, if you want to look better year on year, the gaining phases that you're going through, whether they're like 8-9 months, need to be as dialed in as your 12-week diet is for summer.
I think there's sort of two
what's going to get you the progress. Yeah.
The two kinds. Kind number one that work with us, they'll go through a gaining phase, build a good amount of muscle, they'll diet, and then, like, happy days, don't really want to go into another gaining phase. That's the last diet I want to do.
Yeah.
Just keep cooking there. Other people will go through, similar to what we do, 6 to 9 month gaining phases, summer diet, getting good nicks, see the progress that you've made, and rinse and repeat it.
Yeah.
Which does tend to lead to the most progress long term.
Yeah.
But obviously it's a bit of a personal preference.
Yeah. Like, if you diet down and you're happy with how you look, great.
Yeah.
Stay there.
Completed it, mate.
Yeah. Sorted.
It's like Doherty.
Life.
Completed the gym.
Yeah, got peeled. I have completed. I don't need to go to the gym anymore.
So yeah, that would be timeline, training, nutrition, all box, I think.
Yeah.
Let's get into a little summer Q&A here to kind of polish it off.
How long have we been on? 34.
34 mins. Yeah.
A
couple of cues. How do you decide if someone should be pushing for fat loss going into summer? or just tidying up habits to recomp?
I think realistically, most people are just going to be pushing into fat loss for summer rather than recomping.
There's not very many people that
no,
like it. Not many people are in a position where they're not.
You can just tidy up some things and they're going to get a massive transformation.
Even lads that already look quite lean have body fat to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, without being harsh, I can say this for myself as well. You're always fatter than you think you are.
100%.
Unless it's bro at the back end of a diet who thinks he's
I'm fat, I swear.
fattest bloke in the world. But like the vast majority of people underestimate how much body fat they do have.
Yeah.
And like that goal of, I want to see abs, you got to be lean.
Yeah, it's a lot further away than what you think it is.
Yeah. So most people do need to diet. If you're someone that's like very skinny, doesn't have very much muscle, and doesn't have very much body fat, and we're not talking the skinny fat, this is like
someone who's actually skinny.
Not much of both.
You're obviously not going to put them in a fat loss phase.
Yeah.
Like, that's not going to get them the result that they want.
Yeah.
Realistically, for them to go from their diet down and look better, you need to have a productive gaining phase.
Yeah.
You're actually focusing on growing muscle.
Yeah. Would you change someone's training if their only goal was to look good on the beach? Great goal. Wicked goal. That's my favourite goal. That's my goal.
I mean, it depends what they're doing.
Yeah. There's I think this is dependent on their sort of level that they're at, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, if you're a couple of years in, you probably just need to keep growing everywhere. Maybe you'd have a little bit of an upper body focus.
Yeah.
If your legs are all right, if your legs are good.
Yeah, bias your upper body more.
If you're more experienced, you might look at being even more specific, bring up the delts, arms, chest.
Yeah, but again, it's not like the programming is going to change.
No.
Crazy amounts, is it?
To be honest, if you do have a lagging body part, it's probably because your training's pretty shit for it.
Exactly.
My chest was lagging. I tried doing more volume, less volume, more frequency, less frequency. None of it worked until I realised I was just terrible at pressing.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to get good at pressing.
Yeah, I was pressing like pure tricep and delt.
Yeah. Yeah, I think most of the time people, when they have a lagging body part, it's like, I need to change my split, frequency, volume.
Yeah.
It's probably not that at all.
Yeah.
Your first sort of assessment point should be execution.
Yeah, the actual quality of it. Like how much of your, even delts, like how much of your delts grown over the last couple of years since just dialing in the execution of everything.
Just making sure every set that I'm doing is bang on.
Yeah. And then that's when you can look at increasing frequency first.
Yeah.
Then maybe you look at increasing volume after you've ticked off all those boxes.
But again, like just throwing more and more volume in.
Yeah.
It's not always productive.
I think realistically, if you're pushing above like 18 sets a week, split across 3 sessions, there's something going on.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You're probably thinking then, right, I'm doing too much.
Yeah.
Therefore, quality of work has just gone back again.
Yeah. What would that 8th set in one session be doing for you? Probably not.
Not much. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, get good at training is the message for that one. There's a question about ab training here, which I think a lot of people would be trying to spam.
Yeah.
Pre-summer.
Yeah.
So if you are trying to bring up your abs,
don't bother just spamming them when you're in a diet.
You don't need to do the 5-minute 6-pack ab shortcut session.
It's going to do naff all, lads. If you wanted to have abs for summer, you should have been thinking about this last summer.
Yeah. And again, you've not got as much muscle as you think in your abs.
No.
Same thing as the body fat. Like,
how many people do you see who get lean and you're like kind of looking at the midsection and you're like...
Yeah, well, it's literally me.
Yeah, it happens, doesn't it? You just think like...
The first time I got lean, I was like, where are they?
I'm lean, but there is literally no muscle there. It's the same as every other muscle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, if you want it to look better when you're leaner, bigger,
you
need to actually train them.
It needs to actually...
all phases.
Have mass there.
Yeah, exactly.
To be able to show.
Sound.
couple of nutrition questions. We've answered a couple of these. How hard can you push calories pre-summer without being too aggressive? Kind of touched on that.
Yeah. I think most of the time is a lot harder than you think.
Yeah. What does a good full day of eating look like? Very person dependent.
Yeah. I was going to say, for us specifically, or?
I mean, we can run through what roughly we have.
Yeah.
It's probably quite a good template for someone to follow.
So,
do you want to go through your meals?
I think so obviously we're heavily basing it around training.
Yeah.
So right now we train, midday, 12, 1-ish.
Yeah.
Usually in the morning I will try and just not eat.
Yeah, I just fast in the morning.
Yeah. Bit of caffeine, hydrate. I wake up feeling hungry. As soon as I get going in the day and I'm hydrated and I've had a bit of caffeine, I'm not that hungry.
I do actually find with that as well, it helps me drink more.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I'm going into my training session fully hydrated.
You've probably got like 3 litres of water in you already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sort of like to fast. Like today, for example, great example. We train at midday. It's currently 10:30.
Yeah.
Not ate anything yet.
Yeah.
After we finish this pod, I will then go and eat meal 1, which is my pre-workout meal.
Oaty woos. Wait, is it still oats for you?
Yeah, it's oats at the minute. I've got my rice pudding on the way, so gonna give it a go. So all of my direct carbs are in this meal at the minute. Personally, just how I like to do it.
Yeah.
Because my carbs are at like 150, I think.
Yeah.
So majority of them for me are in this meal, and then I like to have a little bit of fats as well within my pre-workout, just so it slows the digestion down slightly. So I'm not just like, number one, burning through the food when I'm training. Again, like, is it really that like intense? Probably not, but I'm trying to maximize things as best as possible. And then so that comes through dark chocolate, and then protein powder as my protein source for that meal.
Easily digestible thing.
Yeah. By the time we've finished training, it's probably 1:30, 2.
Yeah.
I'll then give myself like 10-15 minutes, just let the heart rate settle. Then I will have yogurt meal. So yogurt, protein, berries, then 2 lean meats, so chicken, 5% beef, with veg, and then I just usually finish off the day with an omelette.
I think something to note from that is there's a good amount of protein in every meal. That's going to keep you full. There's also a really good amount of fruit and vegetables in every meal, which is going to keep you full.
Every meal,
and keep the micronutrients high. And also, you're not being like an idiot with your fats and pushing them super low.
No.
You've still got dark chocolate in there. I think you've got avocado.
Avocado as well, yeah.
You use a bit of olive oil to cook your...
I always cook in olive oil,
So, like, don't be an idiot with your fats.
You notice a big difference as well. Like, I've had preps previously where my fats have probably dropped sub 30 for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And it is almost like instant effect.
Yeah, I think it just kills you off.
Yeah, you just feel like death.
Yeah.
Again, it's probably not all just from that. It's also because carbs are super low as well.
Yeah.
And you're peeled. So unfortunately, at that point, there's no real way of working around it.
Yeah.
But you're there for a very short period of time.
Yeah, and that's like pushing the very extreme.
Yeah, exactly. People who are just dieting for summer, you're not going to get to that point.
Like that example is you've had peeled abs for 10 weeks, and you're trying to get like your outrageously shredded
gone.
serratus anterior.
Yeah, like it's the minutiae sort of shit.
You know? Oh no, my serratus isn't showing up enough.
Oh no, that lower lat line, that could be way better.
I can't quite see 5 million lines in my lower back.
So yeah, if you just don't do that, guys. Simple as, don't do that for summer. That's daft.
Last question. Yeah, that's probably a point actually. You don't need to be horrendously shredded to go on a summer holiday.
If anything, you will look worse.
Yeah, there's a point where lean is too lean.
Yeah.
Most of you, to be honest, won't get there. I personally won't get there.
No.
Bro will probably get there.
I will get there, but by the time I go on summer holiday, I'll be a little bit fatter. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sound.
just on that, the old Buddha trip.
Yeah.
I was just speaking to Ryder about it yesterday.
Yes.
If your show's on Saturday, that's your final show, is it?
Yeah.
Would we leave on Sunday?
Sunday or Monday? Probably Monday.
Yeah.
Maybe Sunday evening time.
Get some interesting culinary experiences.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah, but everyone got food poisoning last time.
Oh, wicked.
Other than me. Come on.
It's because your digestion was just quality.
Innit? So good. But yeah, I'm a bit scared to eat there. It's literally everyone was ill.
Surely it's all right.
Yeah, I mean, our food I had was fucking unreal.
Really?
Yeah,
what did
nice
you have?
grand. Fucking everything. Literally everything I could get my eyes on.
I reckon we'll find
eating.
like a banging steakhouse and just...
Yeah, that's where I want to go after that last show. On the evening, shower, straight have a steak, or just a burger, or just something nice.
Yeah.
Not just something shit.
Yeah.
Last time, I don't think I got back till like 9 p.m.
Really?
I was like, yeah, fuck this, I can't be asked to go out.
Yeah.
I had like a takeaway pizza.
Yeah.
It was nice, but I was a bit like,
Yeah. Take some nice clobber with you.
Yeah. Go out for food.
Should be quite warm, hopefully.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
Could be a little...
Well, I was there in freaking end of October last time. It was like 20 degrees. So
yeah. That's decent.
Should be good in June.
Should we do one more question and then we'll leave it there?
Yeah.
Do you think it's essential for people to be tracking their calories all the way through summer?
I mean, if you want to look the best possible, yes. Other than when you're on holiday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite simple. Like, the more you track, the more accurate it can be.
Yeah.
If you're really against tracking, yes, there's ways around it, and you can still make progress. But to make the most predictable progress, it's a numbers game.
Yeah. I think at like our level of experience, can probably get away with not tracking and you still have a pretty good idea.
Side note, if you're just following a meal plan, you don't need to track it.
Yeah, you don't need to track that, yeah. But like if we weren't following a meal plan and we didn't want to track on a day, I could definitely still get pretty close to what my usual targets are.
And like, by not tracking it, I mean I'm not putting it into an app.
Yeah.
But I'm still weighing stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still making sure I'm hitting the right.
Exactly.
Also, that is not a lot of effort, by the way.
No, it's not hard at all.
You know when you put in your stuff into a bowl, put the scale under the bowl, and do the exact same thing?
Yeah, you're literally doing the exact same thing, but you've got a bowl on the scale.
Probably takes 3 seconds more. So
this is what I don't get when people say, oh, they want to have like a sick physique or they want to be a bodybuilder and you don't track your food. All right then. Good luck with that.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, doesn't add up,
unfortunately. And generally, your internal perception of what's going on, how much leaner you're getting, managing appetite, all of that, your body is a lot smarter than your own actions.
Yeah.
It's going to make you think that you need more food.
Yeah, so you're going to start doing stuff you know you shouldn't be doing, but you're like, oh, I'm not tracking, so I can probably just get away with it.
Exactly. Happens to the best of us. So track your scran, fellas. And if you really don't want to, there is ways around it, but most predictable, just track it and hit the data.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll leave the pod there. Once again, if you do fancy looking into OC12, potentially winning 500 and getting in wicked shape with obviously our help, then click the link below to apply, and we'll drop you a message, chat through your goals a little bit, and see if it's a good option for you.
Yeah.
But other than that, get freaking peeled, fellas.
Let's go.
Send it. See you in the next pod. Ciao.
See ya.